Well, hello guys, this is your girl Ziva Fashionista bringing you another movie review. Now this one is going to be kind of hard to tackle, so I hope that you just bear with me because I was moved to do this review even though this is kind of a difficult subject matter. I saw the United States versus Billie Holiday and I was inspired. I mean, it was a great film to me. I think it was a really good film. I think Lee Daniels and the writers and the actors did a really good job, and Andra Day, who stars in it as Billie Holiday, she delivered an excellent performance, which is why she is now a Golden Globe winner for this movie. And I was blown away. I want to talk to you about what I feel like they did well. I want to bring to you some facts that they may have left out. And of course, I feel like I say this all the time because a video like this brings new eyes. And I want to let you know from the start, like, I am not a recapper. I do not sit in and go blow for blow. Well, this happened and this happened and this happened. Especially with a movie like this, it would be really difficult to do because it was deep. A lot of it is just the performance. A lot of it is just the sentiment of what they were trying to convey. The movie is kind of long. The movie was, I want to say, about 1 hour and 44 minutes long, but it was enjoyable. I didn't feel like it dragged. I think it was a beautiful film. You can't go in expecting insert your favorite biopic, or in this case, this is a biographical drama. So it's not even really considered a biopic, even though you can say biopic. Those words are kind of synonymous. It's not meant to be, and Lee Daniels says it's not meant to be a biopic. They've taken certain liberties because, Lady Day, she was a celebrity. She was so ahead of her time. She was known to tell stories. She would embellish. I know I do it too. Sometimes, for entertainment purposes, I'll tell a story and I'll gas it up a little bit, or I'll try to make it comical for the audience. So, and it might not be true to what actually happened. Off there where Leslie Jordan is interviewing her, and it's later in her career, and you can tell by, like, at this point, she's not the glamorous Billie Holiday that she was throughout her career. Billie Holiday was glamorous, beautiful, just beautiful. She was known to wear white gardenia in her hair. That was kind of her signature, but she's always dressed, and she wore her furs and her gowns, and it was like I'm not gonna do it. I almost did it, but I'm not gonna do it. Not only she's abusing drugs, it's just a rock star lifestyle before it was a thing, just the drinking and the constant smoking. I'm always put back when I see singers smoking. Like, she basically chain smoked throughout this movie, and I'm just like, this is your livelihood. Your voice, your singing is how you make a living. To then abuse it with cigarettes always blows my mind whenever I see people like that. Beginning of the movie, I kind of glazed over. I kind of like faded out. I wasn't paying attention too much in the beginning of the movie, and I later found out that this was all of this scene with Leslie Jordan, this is made up. This didn't happen. So I guess I understand now why, like, my spirit didn't take to it, because it was totally made up. He's asking her questions, like, about her career and decisions that she made. He even asks her, like, what is it like to be a black woman? About the performances. Let's talk about the actors and actresses in this. I think I wrote it down. So if you see me looking down, I'm looking at my notes, sorry. Trevante Rhodes, he plays Fletcher. I forgot the first name, but his last name is Fletcher. He's an FBI agent who is sent to infiltrate and try to, investigate her and see whatever they can get so they can prosecute her, because the FBI is not happy with Miss Day. The main reason is because the leader of the narcotics, Mr. Hangsley. I'm not gonna say the Harry whatever, Hangs whatever. I'm not giving him none of his things, because he's described as being racist even for 1940 standards. And that's saying a lot. He was extremely racist. He was against black progressiveness. He was against jazz music. So all of this made her a target, and she has this song, which is the thing that they really upset them, called Strange Fruit, and it's about lynching. And so they use this as a reason to persecute her, and she was persecuted. They just were relentless in their persecution of this woman who brought herself up from pretty much nothing, from a very humble background. At every turn, Billie Holiday was supposed to fail. At every turn, she was supposed to crumble, and she put up a good fight. She put up a good fight for a long time. Thing to talk about is kind of how she went to jail. When Fletcher reveals himself as an FBI agent, she goes to jail, and now so she's thinking she has a lawyer, and I think in real life her lawyer didn't even come to court. But they showed her lawyer there, and she said, "You told me I would get hospital time." They sentenced her to a year. So she did a year in prison. Now, she's been booked and arrested. I think that's one of the pictures I saw, her being all beautiful, signing out of, the precinct, and she has her fur on, and it's just like, you see her progressively, her image. I don't know how a woman as beautiful as Andra Day, they made her look gaunt and not as fabulous, but you see her progressively lose her fabulosity, for lack of a better word. And it's just, you see, like, you get the gist that the drugs are really ravaging her. She gave it up. She went cold turkey in jail while she was in prison. She did hard. So I was kind of shocked to see her go back to the drug use, because it was like, that has to be hard, like, to kick it. You get arrested again, and because you were clean, they let you go. So eventually she's taking the drugs to numb the pain, and I do understand that, numbing the pain, but we're not dealing with the issues at hand. So as I said, yes, the film could have been darker, because we could have really explored how some of these relationships was overlapping. There was a lot of overlap in the relationships, just infidelity and adultery going on here, and there was a lot of smashing for my taste, when prophylactics really wasn't a thing. That was a little, that was like, okay, but I'm not going to judge her. I'm not going to shame her. I'm not even going to put that word in front of that. You knew where I was going, but I'm not going to shame her, because she's an icon, fashion icon, just singing icon. She had the courage to stand up for what she believed in, and the courage to be fluid at a time where people probably were like, oh my gosh, I'm not mad at her. I'm not mad at her at all for living her life and being who she was and being outspoken. I'm actually grateful for her for that. She was born Eleanor Fagan in Baltimore, Maryland, by way of Philadelphia, and eventually she settles down in New York with her mom after she's back reunited with her mom. Let's get into Strange Fruit. So we don't actually hear Strange Fruit until an hour and 26 minutes into the film, and I thought that was a very powerful moment. It actually gave me chills just seeing the performance of the song and delivered. Now I don't know if that was Andra actually singing, or if it was Billie. Billie is listed as one of the characters, so I don't know if they used her voice. I don't know. You guys can let me know down below if you know, because in my research I didn't come across that. But if she did singing, like, kudos. But the funny thing about Strange Fruit is that Billie Holiday did not write that song. That's not original to her. It actually was written by, I wrote it down, Abel Meerpool, a Jewish school teacher from the Bronx, of all places. So yeah, it just, so he implied white. It was written by somebody white, and it was set to music, and eventually it was introduced to Billie, and she began singing it. So the FBI has a problem with her singing this, because they're saying that it incites, it's inciting, and I don't see how. Strange Fruit is not a call to arms. It's just a commentary about something that's happening, something that's unjust, that even in modern times, that down south, they're lynching people, they're hanging human beings, black people, from trees, with no repercussion. And it's happening time and time again for the most trivial reasons, and it's happening, and she's just really just shining a light on some injustice that's happening, and because of it, she's being persecuted. So one thing that they show in the film is that she refuses to sing the song. One time she almost sings it, and they snatch her off stage, and they run and off stage, and the police go to arrest her because she was about to sing the song. And you just see that even though this is this takes place about 1937 to when she died. At least she died July 17, 1959. That there's still segregation. It's still yeah, it's still like you see, and I think in that scene, the black people are up top, the white people are down below. You see the FBI coming to her performances. Even, you know, the leader he's coming and he's sitting there, and it's just like, wow. You would think that they wouldn't have a problem with this song because, you know, they would take it as a celebration, like, yeah, we do this, and like, but they take it as an insult. So yeah, that was pretty interesting. One thing that they didn't wasn't actual truthful, where she refuses to sing the song. She absolutely was still singing the song. And even Leslie Jordan says, like, why don't you just stop singing the song? And it just takes me to respectability politics, which is something that I've been accused of here on YouTube. And it's just, why don't you just behave? So, you know, if you just behave, like, you know, all your problems will go away. And it's like, no, I'm still black, I'm still a woman, and this is still America, and I still have little to no rights. Even though I sing all pretty, I dress up all nice, and millions of people thousands of people love me, I'm still a Negro. Yeah. Sad. I didn't catch Mrs. Lawrence's name, but he was like in her entourage, kind of like a hanger-on, and he was with her like from start to finish in this film, and it was really good. He delivered a solid performance as well. I was very shocked and pleased by that. Miss Lawrence, go ahead there. But I do get a flashback when Fletcher they persuade Fletcher to shoot up, just to show, like, okay, you really down with us, you got to do this to show us. So he shoots up for the first time, and it flashes back to her as a child. So we don't really get too much into her as a child, but we see this scene with her as a child, and she's showing him her life, but she's probably telling him about her life and where she's come from. And it's really sad, and he begins to cry, and she's this little girl, she's about 10, and the mother kicks her out. She has a lot of traumas, but just drugs is not going to do it. Drugs is not going to ease the pain, and it's so sad to see her self-medicate. I'm sorry. I just got sad. Like, so sad. It's totally sad. Just what she went through at the hands of abusers, you know, people not paying her money. I think that they gave her drugs to keep her numb, to keep her unaware of what was really going on and how much she was due. How could you be in a state of poverty when you sold out Carnegie Hall? What was her take? Who like, she sold out Carnegie Hall at least 3 times, and she dies damn near penniless. Like, how does that happen? They could have gotten darker with this film, and they were pretty nice. So she was fluid. Sis was fluid. She's messing with the lady, which they kind of glaze over, but she actually was with the lady Tallulah. That was her little girl. That was her little girlfriend. So she's sexually fluid. Then she's messing with Fletcher. Now, we don't know how true that is in real life, but I thought it made an interesting story. I liked the drama and the tension and the builds up of them getting together. When you see the contrast between the scene where they are together and a scene where she's with the Joe guy, I think Joe Levy, the guy that owns the club, and he's not only is he screwing her out of her money, he's like screwing her brains out. Like, you see the scene, it goes from her singing all beautiful and looking lovely on stage to him just goes. It was scrap. I don't even know like how this went. It was just like jarring just to go from that to just the love. That wasn't lovemaking. It was just sex, sloppy sex. I don't know how else to describe it. To see that scene and the difference between when she goes to make love to sexy ass Trevante and he strips, and his body is perfection. Besides being fine, the body is perfection, and he goes to slap that thing, lick that thing, rub that thing. It was like, woo! I was like, yes, now. And he tells her, no, not like this. Let's do this another way. And he proceeds to, make love to her, and he shows her like a loving relationship. But Billie, that's not what she's interested. That's not what she knows. She's known a lot of trauma, so she was not really interested in that type of relationship. So you see her kind of ditch him. Kind of ditches him, and she ditches her band. They break down and they're out of gas, they're out of money, they're on the road. She struggled a lot, which is crazy to me, because what they don't show you is that she was a recording artist. At this point, she had been in a film. So it's like, where's all her money? Besides just abusing drugs, it's like, where's all her money going? So she calls up McKay, and McKay comes and swoops in, and she leaves them. I think she takes Miss Lawrence and maybe the girl Rosalind and Lee. So I don't know how true, if this really happens, but if it did, that's really messed up. Which you see later on in the film where I don't know if I mentioned Tyler Williams. Oh my gosh, like seeing little Chris and all grown up, I'm like, I must be ancient, because he was like 10 like 2 seconds ago. Seeing little Chris in that role as one of the members of the band, when he passes, she wanted to sing at the funeral, but they wouldn't let him. So I don't know, they wouldn't let her. So I don't know if there's like a grudge from that, if that actually really happened. That was really messed up. Scene where she's trying to get onto the elevator and she's not even allowed, you know, it just tells you the times that we're in. She wasn't allowed on the elevator. She's not allowed to sit in these places that she's headlining. It just was so sad. Like, it was sad. Like, I was somber, I was brought down by seeing this, but I think that is important that we still see this, and we know that this is not so far in the past. This is 1940s. Like, it's crazy, you know? They bring up the lynching and how lynching had went to Congress before and it didn't pass, and now it's still up. Still trying to introduce lynching and modern day lynching, where it's just someone black losing their life unjustly by the hands of someone else, and still to this day hasn't passed. So one of the scenes that kind of make me chuckle and gasp at the same time is the scene where she's with Tallulah in Central Park, and they walking arm in arm, but they could just still be good girlfriends, you know. They walking, and she bumps into, I think this is gonna be her later husband and her last husband. I believe that's who that was. And he says, let's ditch these snow bunnies and go do some black shit. I thought that was hilarious. I'm like, did that happen? If that happens, it was whoa. But a much needed point of laughter. Yeah, I still was trying to pin things on her, still trying to get her, even in her dying days. Now that's one of the things that's up in the air, because I seen where she died, said that she died of heart failure. I seen where most reports say she died of cirrhosis, which is just hard drinking, and drug abuse. Like they said, like her veins were, most of her veins were collapsed, which is really, really sad. It was really a sad, tragic, this was a sad, tragic life. Yeah, she died strapped damn near penniless. And that's another thing that's up in the air. Some people say she had like 70 cents to her name, 39 cents, less than $10 to her name, but really, like, you know, she really didn't have much, and that's really, really sad. So you know that she was taken advantage of in more ways than one. I think it's worth us just knowing her story and making sure that we pass her story on. That's her legacy is her voice and her courage, you know, but learning from her story and making sure that she's celebrated. And I'm happy to say that she's gotten her things, so to say, after her passing, because she was posthumously inducted into so she's in the Grammy Hall of Fame. She's I put Etergun, I don't know what the hell I wrote, the Jazz Hall of Fame, the Rock Hall of Fame, and the ASCAP Jazz Wall. So she's posthumously, she's been given her things. This is the third film about her. Let's not let her legacy die. Let's learn from it. Let's celebrate her. Let me know what you thought about this film. Let me know what you thought about this review. Any comments, questions, leave them down below. I want to thank you so very much for watching. I hope this isn't too long. I hope you stood to the end, and if you did, you're the real MVP. All right, guys, thank you so very much for watching. And if I don't catch you in the next one, you'll catch me, or go watch one of my other videos. There's a bunch on here. Go ahead, enjoy. All right, guys, later.